And our next stop is in Nollywood, where the makers of the critically acclaimed 2016 movie 76 have unveiled a sequel. Details in this next report.
8 years after the successful military-style movie 76, which was based on the backdrop of the Butch coup in Nigeria in 1976, the makers of that movie have now reunited for a sequel. Director Izu Ojukwu, producers Tonya Princewill and Adonija Awira lead out other crew and cast including Ramsey Noah, who played the lead character Dewa for this new movie titled 77, The Festac Conspiracy. It's the first public conversation about this second installment, which is inspired simply because of the success of the first movie.
Yes, every story has its life. 77 is quite different from 76. 77, we dealt more with the army, physicality, the combatant soldier, and 76, 77 is more of intelligence. That's where you see Festac conspiracy. When you hear conspiracy, you know that intelligence is in, that's a matter of brain. So we dealt more with, we focus more on the glamour of the festival, and then like what I call a painted sepulchre, when you have the beautiful tombstone of a dead body, but what lies beneath is rotting. That's the conspiracy behind the glamour in 77. I'd like to tell you.
Since we left Ibadan barracks, it's like a part of him didn't come along. Speaking to him is like talking to a wall. He just stares at you and says nothing.
77 is set a year after the events of the previous movie and told over the backdrop of the now classic Festival of Arts and Culture hosted by Nigeria in 1977.
Yeah, so, you know, basically a lot of Nigerian history is shrouded in darkness. You know, we don't have like very good things to talk about. But Festac actually gives us an opportunity to, you know, tell a story of something that is magnificently really cool. You know, an international cultural festival of blacks and Africans all over the world. You know, so it was a very beautiful event. It happened only twice, the first one in Senegal and the second one in Nigeria, and it has not happened again since then.
Officer Joseph from Badagry.
A few of the main faces returned for this one, including Rita Dominic and Ramsey Noah, who is back in action mode, even if he was summarily dismissed from the military at the end of the first movie.
The consequence of this conspiracy is the total disintegration of the continent, and Festac is their launching ground.
I'm looking for the technical director for the festival.
I don't want to see you anywhere near that festival. Anywhere near.
Desire, make my stage come alive!
The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand, and I shall...
When we're doing 76, it was more difficult. It was the first time in my career where I was playing a military. So yes, I was in Mokola Barracks in Ibadan for like almost 3 months, where a real soldier was drilling me to get me into a military mindset, you know, state of mind. So it took a while. It took a lot from me. Fortunately for 77, that wasn't required. I didn't have to be so military inclined, you know. I had to have gained weight. I had to look the part like I felt rejected, dejected, hopeless. So that was the character the director put in. So it made me eat a lot and grow really big and chubby.
Today, it is only my voice you hear. But tomorrow, a million voices shall thunder this gospel of freedom.
While 77, the Festac Conspiracy, assumes the backdrop of the event which held at the National Arts Theatre and the Festac town in Lagos, this movie was shot on location in Tinapa, Cross River State and Lebanon, with most of the props recreated.
We had another movie in mind, and then one thing led to another, and we ended back on 77. So if we had gone straight for 77, maybe we'd have done it sooner. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that to do a period piece, if you want to achieve accuracy, you have to make sure that you take your time to do your research, to get your facts, and to make this movie as authentic as possible. For instance, we had to go to Lebanon to shoot certain scenes. We did that for authenticity. We had to go to the river to shoot certain scenes. We had to do a lot of material that we thought we would get from the archives didn't actually materialize, so we had to go and recreate those scenes. So a lot of work that would otherwise not have been done had to be done, just so we could achieve authenticity. So when you're shooting a movie that is about facts, it's always very difficult to cut corners. So for that reason, we had to spend more time to get things done. But ultimately, I hope it's worth it, and we hope that audiences like yourself will enjoy the movie that we have now made.
77, The Festac Conspiracy is scheduled for release early next year.